Everyone.
Good morning, Lydia.
How are you, Shirley and Joan and Peggy and Amanda and Lisa and Ed and Frank?
Good morning, Lydia.
Good
Doing
morning.
great.
Morning, morning.
Good morning, Amanda.
Hey, Joan, did you get the 2 feet of snow or did it miss you guys?
Missed us totally. Got none of it. Thankfully.
I was going to say, and you don't feel bad.
No.
We just don't know where to
No.
put the snow now. Yeah, we had over 2 feet of snow on Monday.
And we have 91 degrees today.
Oh, so you're in the heat zone,
Yes.
not the ice zone. 91. This is early in season for you to get that high, is it not?
Yeah, especially since last Monday we had like 20 degrees in the morning. So
That's hard on the system. Oh, is that ever
yeah,
hard on the system?
yeah.
Yeah,
We're good.
I heard somebody in California saying they were going to get triple digits.
Arizona already had triple digits.
Yeah, and then this guy said, part of the country is freezing, part of the country is boiling.
That's true.
And my
And
brother,
Lisa, what's the weather over in UK?
Yeah, we've had some sun the last few days. I mean, we're still only talking like 15, 16 degrees, but yeah, it's nice to see the sunshine. Went out to the beach this morning for a little walk. Yeah, that's good.
Good, good, good. I'm waiting for Al to get on. Mary Jo's not going to be able to be on today.
Tell her she has to give you a doctor's note for permission to be away.
I gave her permission for this one, so she is good. Let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and get started. Don't forget, the Giving Spirit Award is coming up. I vote that they give for the US and US. I vote they give out 2 Giving Spirit Awards this year. I think there's 2 people who deserve it. One is Mary Jo, and not because I work for her, but her heart and passion is for all you guys, and she's on here most every Saturday. And the other one is Ross Marie. Both of those deserve it, and I'm actually going to talk to Vita and see if we could if we give a dual Giving Spirit Award out. And so just think about it. I know that's for the US and Canada.
Do they not have one for each country?
I don't do this. Canada. Yeah, I think Canada does their own. Okay, this is only for the US.
I
Yeah,
agree. I agree with you, Lydia.
Yeah.
Canada does usually have, yeah, we always have one too.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what we do.
Did Mary Jo get one already though?
Very long time ago, but I
Yeah,
also
yeah.
got one long time ago, and I got one last year.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
yeah, her heart and passion. Al, we decided we should give out a dual Giving Spirit Award this year.
Oh, okay. Tell me.
Ross Marie and Mary Jo.
Wow, a duo. We've never done that before.
So let's see what you could do.
Well, I'm not going to do nothing because I can't be biased, but because this is about you guys. You guys get
Right.
to vote.
So
So,
what we do is we put both names on the form
okay.
and
Yeah.
say there should be a duo.
Okay. Well, you know what? Between the inception of the program, which is Rosemary and Eddie, to really the person who's been so influential in driving that as a priority and as a focus, I think that conversation is good. I think that conversation works. I think that would be very interesting. I think,
Yeah.
again, this is all about you guys. So you
Yeah.
drive this one. You have full power. So use it and get the word out. And I think personally, I think it's a great idea, and also brings a lot of a spotlight on the 21-day liver reset and what it's done
Yeah.
for all of you. And so I think it's good. I think it's really good.
Awesome. 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 Well, Al, I just opened up the call. Do we want to have Joan and Shane go first?
Yeah,
Or do we want to talk
absolutely.
about ManaQuest? And I have
yeah.
that video too to show.
Oh, perfect. Well, I have to say, I'm at Rainmaker Summit for the fourth time because we should always stay green and growing. So
Right.
I am sitting there and taking lots of notes, and there's a big thing about to come out, which is going to be about AI, and I hate to miss it. So, Lydia, if you don't mind, I'm going to let you run this one
Okay.
per what we discussed yesterday. I
Got
would
it.
just say to the whole group, you know, the biggest message I have for all of you is March is not over yet. You're sitting on these coupons in the US and Canada especially, use them. America runs on affordability right now. From Coca-Cola to McDonald's to Dollar Store, I sent Lydia a whole, write-up. If you want to share it, I think it makes sense. Just understand that Mannatech is fitting into that trend of let's meet people where they are. People are looking for things that are going to be affordable. The 21-day reset is a great program to change their health and their life. And an extra $50 savings can go a long way. So don't be shy about just letting people know, hey, look, this will change your life, but more than that, I can get it to you at $50 less if you want to use my coupon. I only have two. I can only share it with two people. Let's get bold and courageous. Let's make sure at least you get your coupons used. You're doing them a favor, and you're driving your business. And by the way, it's double PV. You will not see this combination of things for a long time, I don't think. So take full advantage of it. March could be the best month you've had in a very long time. Coupons plus double PV, and obviously we're getting rank ups right now, lots of rank ups to director, and so help your people become directors, executive, silver executive. Take the extra money. It's out there. Take it. Grow your business, rank up. Let's go into ManaQuest on a high. Let's get you, on stage. I would love for more Saturday Huddle alumni to be on stage, to be talked about, to be recognized. Guys, let's do it. Let's make, the best way you can thank Rose and you can thank Mary Jo, and you can thank me, is rank up. Let's show the world that, hey, what we do here every Saturday makes a difference. Nothing would make me feel, and make me more excited and make me feel more proud than knowing that our alumni, these people that are committed to showing up every Saturday, that this is making a difference for you. And I think that would make my heart really sing, if that really matters. But it certainly matters to me. I want my heart to sing because I see you guys growing and winning. I love to see you win. And we got all the pieces in place in March to win. So let's go and win, and let's make all of us proud, because we want to show up as the Saturday Huddle group and show Mannatech and the rest of the world that, hey, your commitment, your weekly commitment to being here matters. So that's my big message. Also, for those of you who are close, get to ManaQuest. Saturday, and I changed this, they asked me to kind of spearhead and mastermind this ManaQuest. We have changed it to the fact that everybody who shows up physically will be part of our mastermind on Saturday. 3 hours, you're going to leave that meeting with a plan, a 90-day plan, and the rest of the year as well. You're going to be in a room where the conversations are happening, the real conversations about how we're taking Mannatech to the next level. And then from 1 to 6, we're going to be at the Frederick's Winery, the Blue Ostrich Winery. We have a bus taking everybody down there. So it's not just for the alliance, it's for everybody who dares to show up. They say 90% of life is showing up, being in the right room. You say, Al, why would you be at Rainmaker for the 4th time? Because it's the right room to be in. I got to stay sharp. I got to stay focused. I got to have clarity. I have to be working on my personal why and goals and things like I did 40 years ago. And I'll never stop. You don't stop. You're here. Let's make it count. So if you are, or you know anybody who's in the Texas area, they definitely should be there. If they have to
Or
drive
Oklahoma, or
Louisiana, if you have to drive 4 to 6 hours to get there, make that a priority. Guys, it matters to be in the room where the right conversations are going on, where we're helping put together the kinds of things that will help you and everybody you know win. Guys, God did not create us to just live a mediocre life. He created us in a unique fashion to be extraordinary, to do something great. Your story is too big to play small. I know you've heard that before. You know,
Bill Walsh, where you are.
Bill Walsh just reminded me, that's why it's in the top of my head. Your story is too big to play small.
Hey, Al, any chance Bill is off stage right now?
No, he's actually on stage, and he's about to introduce the young lady that's going to be talking about AI, and that's why I want to be in the room, because, guys, we got to stay growing. We got to stay learning. The world is moving at such a speed that we cannot afford to not be in the right rooms.
I agree. And I think we're going to be joining you this afternoon for a little bit.
That would be great. Love to see you. I think it would make all the sense in the world. It's a great message also to send to people about the fact that, you know, you are serious about creating something extraordinary in your life. And that all starts by showing up in the right rooms. Saturday, April 11, at the Mannatech office. It will be the right room to be in. I know some of you are thinking about it. I know Chris Knight, I know you're thinking about coming. I know Mary Jo's opened her house to as a hostel for everybody to show up with your sleeping bags, and I think that's going to be more fun than even the event. I think just being there and sharing that experience. But whatever, I'm going to say to you, whatever it takes to be there, be there.
It's for Canadians, it's warmer down here.
It is definitely going to be much warmer. And then, you know, let's have fun together. We're going to go to the to the winery, not just for the wine, but for the association, being with the right people, in the right places, in the right rooms, and just realizing that, man, we are a powerful community when we're together. We are really a powerful community when we're together. So I am kind of excited about what's coming up. We're launching a brand new story at MannaQuest. Very interesting. The last exercise I just did here, the lady I was talking to runs a show in CBS that Bill Walsh is a sponsor. And when I walked her through the glycan story, she goes, I got to come back. You and I have to continue this conversation. She was blown away.
Awesome.
And I mean, that kind of got me a little giddy, because, you know, it's like, you know, when people like him, they do a show where they bring people to talk and showcase the things they do. And maybe this might be our chance. We might be on CBS, you know, and being showcased and having glycans showcased. I mean, that would be pretty amazing, isn't it? Because it's about time the rest of the world knows the story. It's about time. Guys, we have a powerful story, and when it's told right, and that's what we're going to be talking about at MannaQuest. So if you, and by the way, if you're not coming, just make sure you get 10, 20, 30 people to tune in. Maybe that's what you do. You get people to tune in. I'm almost embarrassed to tell you guys how many people have signed up for ManaQuest, even online. We got to change that. And if anybody can lead that effort and create this movement, it's you guys. You are the A players. Help us to get as many people either in Dallas or at least to join us online. So so that we have 500 to 1,000 people online. They need to hear the story. It's going to be incredibly impactful. Sabine, we will be doing it at a time where even Europe can be on. So you guys can participate. You can watch this because it's early on the day on Friday. And Dr. Nugent, I'm going to set it up, and then Dr. Nugent is going to go through the whole, our longevity story with glycans is huge. I don't know that you guys understand how big that story really is. Because longevity is definitely, I mean, when I said longevity to this producer of the show, she got it immediately. She got it. It was like, wow, we could be the #1 biohack for longevity of the 21st century. And we didn't even know that. It sat right there, feet from our nose. And while we were just yapping about cell-to-cell communication and everything else, we didn't realize that actually from when life starts to when life ends, it's all about your glycans. Wow. That's why the thing called, look guys, you can go and check it out. There's a test called Glycan Age that's done by a company out of Slovenia, a European company. They can determine your biological age by looking at your glycan profile.
Wow.
And you have the ability to show people how they can continue to improve their glycan profile, right? Because glycan replenishment therapy is a real thing. You can orally affect your glycosylation. You have that ability. But if you don't know it, you never will know it. But does that make sense? People are only going to know it because you are going to tell someone who's going to tell someone who's going to tell someone. That's how movements are created. So let's go create that movement. It's in our hands. Start by being at ManaQuest. If you cannot be there physically, be there virtually, and have as many people that have been sitting on the sideline watching this. This is groundbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
Right? So we love you guys.
Okay.
I gotta go back and keep learning, but
Go take some good notes and we'll see you there this afternoon.
you bet. Talk to you soon. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was amazing as always. I want to, before we go to Joan and Shane, I want to show you a video Al sent to me about a week ago. And it's from South Africa. And I just want you to listen to some of the words. It's so encouraging and so exciting. But hold on, let me share this with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mannatech Success Summit.
And I am so grateful and thankful to be on this journey with people that dream with their eyes open, who are building an empire of hope.
This is the business that more people need to get excited about. This is the business that you and I almost have a bit of a responsibility if we want to really change the world, to tell people about it. Because what are people asking for? They want freedom. They want to achieve their goals. They don't just want freedom and sit around doing nothing. They also want meaning. That's this business.
You have to have someone to love, something to do, and something to look forward to. Otherwise, why are you living?
What if I can have more than 2 weeks holiday in a year? What if I can have more free time? What if I can be involved in a business model where I can empower more people? What if I can create another stream of income to invest more because I want to leave a legacy? There's a burning desire in our heart to empower more people. I want to encourage you to say yes.
You may not have come from a wealthy family, but make sure a wealthy family should come from you.
Was that not good? And the line has stuck with me from when Al first showed it to us. You may not have come from a wealthy family, but we all have the choice to have a wealthy family come from us. Anybody else want to share any of their feeling of that video? So go ahead, Shane.
Yeah, I seen that there's kind of a theme that went along with everyone there, Empire of Hope, freedom and meaning. And yeah, it's a celebration of those things and being able to share it. It's a big step for for having, even the topic that we're talking about today, choosing victim or victor. So yeah, being in there, it's intimidating for someone that's never thought of it being possible.
But that's the cool thing about our industry is it's possible for each and every one of you. You all have to each one of us has to choose it. And sometimes we're choosing it with shaking and we're shaking in our boots, but it's still a choice. I'm going to go ahead, and I don't remember who had Joan, I think you had chapter 3.
I do have chapter 3. Yes.
Great. I'll let you go and cover. This is if how-tos could be enough, we'd all be skinny, rich, and happy. Chapter 3. Joe Mallory.
Thank you, Lydia. And I have to confess that I'm shaking in my boots too. I'm not used to being on the hot seat here. But anyway, so this chapter is the formula of champions. And honestly, we have heard this many times, but I guess it's just like Al says that when you present, and when I had to dig into this, it just kind of really hit home. I've heard Al say this 100 times, if not more. And yet today I think it kind of sunk in. So anyway, or these last few days. So the question that Brian brings up at the beginning of this chapter is, are you getting something other than what you really want? And he starts off with the story of Aladdin. Aladdin's walking along the beach and kicking through the sand, and he kicks something hard, and it's the lamp. And so he digs out the lamp and he takes it home. He gets his toothbrush out and cleans all the crud and sand off it. And while he's polishing up, out pops a genie and says, "Your wish is my command." So he tests it, and he asks for a Big Mac, and then he asks for a camel, and then he asks for all the regular things that somebody has nothing, that, oh, I'd like a new house. Oh, I'd like money. I'd like this. And so everything that he asks for, he gets. And he goes on a long cruise around the world. And while he's gone, one of his housekeepers is wanting to impress him, and she's going through his house, and she finds the Aladdin lamp, and it means nothing to her. And so she thinks, oh, I'll replace this. I'll get him a new lamp. And so she sells it to the vendor in the street. So when Aladdin comes, of course, she replaces it with a new lamp that does not have a genie. And so when Aladdin comes home after his months of travel and finds the lamp is gone, he is absolutely devastated. And so Brian's analogy is that what we have with the formula of champions is really like Aladdin's lamp and that, you know, what it has the ability to give if we understand it. So when Aladdin realized that his lamp was gone, I'm just going to apologize here. Last week, Al had all kinds of visuals, so I'm sorry I don't have visuals. If you want to stop me at some point, just, you know, I'm not very good at this, but Lydia will help me. You know,
Yeah,
if
you're doing
somebody
a
has
great
question
job.
or you want me to, okay, if you want me to repeat something, we can do it. So Aladdin realizes when the lamp is gone that he realizes the value of it, and so he actually spends 10 years going all over the place trying to find this lamp. And when he finds it, he's destitute. It's in a shop. He has no money. And so he agrees to work for the shopkeeper for a year to get the lamp back. But of course, he doesn't divulge the value of this lamp. He just says, I'll work for you. So he works and he gets the lamp back. So the question that Brian asks in the book is, if this formula that he's going to give us in this chapter, and this formula is not new to us, if he gives us this formula, are we willing, or can we see the value in? Are we willing to spend like Aladdin, maybe a year, maybe longer, to really put tremendous energy into understanding it? Are we willing to invest money into it? We need to learn, really understand. You know, the first time Aladdin, you know, he took time and energy to polish up the lamp, but then later he invested years and a lot of his money. So here's the formula, and we want to put it in our heart. We want to apply it. We want to wrestle with it. We want to digest it. It's intention plus mechanism equals results. Now, we've all heard this from Al 100 times or more. And I think for me, as much as I've heard it a lot, I got it backwards. Because even though I heard Al saying this, to me, I'm a hands-on person. Okay, so what is the mechanism? What is it that I have to do? And that is where Brian Clemmer says we are going all wrong. So first of all, the intention has nothing to do with willpower, because your willpower is from your conscious mind. It's a deep knowingness. It's a deep clarity and intensity. It's focus, certainty, and commitment. And so we're going to hear more about this. I think this is a huge part of what we need to learn. And it's in chapter 5. So I don't know who's doing chapter 5 next week. You got a big job cut out for you, because I think this is a really key chapter, chapter 5. So that's your intention. And then intention plus the mechanism. So the mechanism is just the vehicle. It's the process, the technique. It's the how-to that you're going to get to the result. And of course, your intention plus your mechanism equals the result. So the shocking part, and I've been with Mannatech a long time, and I've said a lot of times that this is my intention and this is the result I want to get, and haven't got there. And what this book made very clear to me was that it's really not my intention. Because if your intention is deep enough and you put it with the mechanism, you will get the result. So that's how you know what your intention is. You can do this backwards. You can look at, what is my result? So say I wanted to make 100,000 in a year, and I look at it and I go, okay, well, I didn't make 100,000. Whatever it was I made, you know, maybe I made 70,000, maybe I made a lot less. That, according to Brian, and I'm sure he knows what he's talking about because he's demonstrated this over and over again, that really is what your intention was. Whatever your result is what your intention is. So he compares it to your hand. You take your hand and you look the front and the back. And so the front of the hand is your intention. The back of the hand is your result. So you say, well, I'm going to just separate them. I'm going to cut off the back of my hand. Well, you can't do that. You go ahead, cut off the back of your hand if you want, but you still got a back of the front. So the back and the front are inseparable. And so this gives us the clarity that, okay, what is our result is in fact our intention. So you can take your formula and use it retroactively, which we just talked about a little bit, or you can take it and use it proactively towards the future to create the results that you want. And Brian talks about this. He said, you know, he has used this formula to create relationships, to create financial success. I mean, his list was very comprehensive. So when we look at our, so he gives an example of an exercise of crossing a room 100 different times, 100 different ways. And I remember being in a training with Sona years ago, and we were a whole bunch of Mannatechers, and she put us in a room and told us to cross the room. And every time you cross the room, you have to cross it a different way. But your intention is to get to the other side using a different mechanism every time. And this is where sometimes we get stuck. Mary Jo had a pair of Greek glasses on last week. And, you know, you could use those glasses as an analogy for anything. So if I have got an idea of I can cross the room, I can do it this way or this way or this way. But eventually I'm going to get stuck. I can't think. You know, when I'm on the 15th time going across the room, okay. And this is where our subconscious kicks in. And this is where it's important to really dig deep into this first step, our intention. Never mind the mechanism. And that's where most of us, at least that's where I got stuck. I thought, okay, I've got to think of a different way. But no, you have to go back and dig into what is my intention. And when the intention is clear, and we've all heard this with Al 100 times, when the intent is clear and intense, a mechanism will always appear. And so that's when our subconscious comes up with a mechanism. We don't know what the mechanism is. We don't have to have it figured out ahead of time, but you have to have a very clear and intense intention. And it always comes before the mechanism. A true intention and commitment will always create the mechanism. So one of the examples I give is John F. Kennedy and putting a man on the moon. And I don't know if any of you were still, I was a teenager and we were in youth group, and must have been on a Friday night. We were in one of the leaders' homes, a whole bunch of us kids, and there was a man going to the moon. So I would have been about 17. And so we were all watching this, but, you know, it didn't mean a lot to me. I was a teenager and I was more concerned about, you know, my friends that were with me or whatever. But when I read about it now, the science wasn't even there for a mechanism, but that didn't stop John F. Kennedy. He literally didn't care about that. It was the intention, and we all know what happened. He put a man on the moon, which was absolutely phenomenal. Brian talks about some other things that can limit us with our mechanism. Depending on those green glasses that we have on, we can say, you know, maybe we have a limit of how many mechanism. And a good example was, you know, I had a limit of, I could think of 10 different ways to cross the room, but we need more than that. We need a lot more than that. And you can't be stopped by the mechanism. So, just realizing that, focusing back on the intention, because when our intention is clear, we're going to find new mechanisms. So if our intention needs to be clear, how can we raise the intention? And he gave 3 specific ways to raise your intention. Number 1 was committing out loud to a friend who believes in you. And so, we do this. We have accountability partners, but I think that with accountability partners, I think it's really important that we understand that this is about our intention, that our accountability partner holds our feet down, and that we really do have a clear intention. Another way that he suggested was putting yourself at risk by gaining or losing money, and that's a big one. And so we've heard of this too, where people say, and I have never done this, people write a check, maybe a check for 10 grand to M5M. You write the check and you give it to somebody who hands it to M5M, and they're going to deposit on a certain day if you don't reach your goal. I would think that that would change a lot of things for a lot of us, that suddenly we'd come up with a lot of mechanisms to get to where we needed to go because our intention would be so strong. And then the third point was visualization. Richard Brooke deals a lot with visualization in his book. So an example that Brian uses in this book is, if you were going to buy a new car and you go to the car lot and you look at a car and the salesman comes over and the salesman says, "Can you visualize yourself in this car driving down Main Street here on a Friday night with the top down and, the street, whatever." And so getting you to visualize how it would feel to be behind the wheel of that car. And if you look at him and say, "No, I hadn't particularly thought about that," then Brian says the salesman's just going to say, "Hey, it's been nice meeting you. Have a great day," and go on. But if you say, "Oh, I can see myself driving down Main Street. Ah, man, but I don't have the money." See, the mechanism is not the issue here, because now that you've got the visualization, and now that the visualization is strong, the mechanism is going to appear. And so that salesman will say, "Let's get in the car. Let's go for a drive," because your subconscious now is going to click in, and it's going to do everything, whether you have to change your job or whatever. The mechanism in this case is coming up with the money, and you're going to come up with the money because the mechanism will appear because your intention is clear. So that was my take on chapter 3. If anybody has any comments or questions, I'd be happy to. Not that I'm the professional, believe me. But we have some
That was
professionals.
awesome. For me, it brought back memories. I remember being at an event before I even met. Maybe I did. I met Mary Jo at Manifest, but I didn't know her. And I went to a Brian Clemmer. He did a champions workshop, and he was actually doing it. So when he did that exercise of going back and forth, he had everybody go through. Then he pulled me out. So, and he says, "Here, I have a $5. I have a $500 bill. If you could figure out a way to go back across the room and not use anything," and there was like 40 people in the room, "not use any other what they use to go back across, this $500 bill is yours."
Wow.
You think I found a mechanism to go back across the room? I crawled on my elbows going back across the room. Didn't care what I looked like because that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I think I just want to, Joan, that was awesome. You did a great job.
Thank you.
But how many of us set the intention that we're going to use our 2 coupons this month in March? So what mechanisms can get you to earn that? Because those two coupons very well could help you rank up. So just think about that concept, and we still have a week to go. It's not too late. We have 2 people right now in the hopper they're gonna let me know Monday about signing up. So that's awesome. Shane, Joan, feel free, you did an excellent job.
Yes, thank
So
you, Joan. That was amazing. I love that story. How everything starts off with the story for sure. Um, but here's a story. So I bought the book $1.98 from Amazon last week, and I got it on Friday. I'm sorry, Monday this week. And I started studying chapter 4, which I think maybe I've got a misprinted book. Um, my chapter 3 is about the key to relationships.
you know what? It
So,
could be different, but you have the newer one. She may have had the older one.
oh, okay, that's fine then. So, so because it's layered, I mean, I think it's important to stay with what comes after the formula of champions is the key to relationships. The new book has chapter 3. So I have a story here to start this out. Um, this one's related to relationships in business, so we can apply this here. And the statement here in the beginning is anger is a person's last desperate attempt to avoid responsibility and blame the situation on someone or something else. And in business, um, it's really hard to sometimes hide anger, but you have to. And there's a key in this here chapter that sets me free from ever having to hide this energy ever again. This week, I did a job, and when the customer came to pick up the work, he showed me a quote that I quoted him for the job. I forgot I made the quote, and the quote that I gave him, it was raining outside. I was like I'm the smart guy. I know how to get this work done quickly. I can do it efficiently. Yeah, I'm a great guy. Kudos to me. $450. Well, almost a month later, he booked the job in, and I finished the job. It was an amazing job. I did amazing work. But it was the quote I made was with a job I hadn't even seen. So he drove up in a truck, got me to quote him a bumper, but he said it's on a different truck. So when he dropped off the truck, I forgot about my quote. I did the job. I did a great job. And I wrote him a bill for $850 plus tax. So he came and he showed me my original quote, and he said, I'm kind of, upset about this. He said, you're a little bit high on, and I never got back to him and changed the price or anything. So I had to eat that. And I was like gonna be angry. And I couldn't stop the rumination. It was going on and on and on. So what we're saying here is who or what are you resisting? What prices are you paying for resistance? I'm coming back into the book here because this is the point of the training here, the key to relationships. And we're talking about like the energy that comes through from resistance and the energy that comes through to other people. So we're talking about the prices for that, for that resistance. And he goes into what we call 3 R's: resistance, resentment, and finally revenge. I was talking about that story there, and I was ruminating all day long. Like that energy was just like, how could I be so? How can that guy take advantage of me like that? And like key to this is just realizing I was like didn't want to admit responsibility. I did make the quote. I did the job without reaffirming or I made all the mistakes. And so resentment, I just had to come around the corner and just say to myself, you know what? I got a chance to learn something here. But in the chapter here, when we go through these 3 R's, what holds us back? So the resentment is any negative emotional reaction to what we think has been said or done. Common emotions include anger, frustration, sadness, jealousy, and hate. So it's just something that we think has been said or done. So it's kind of a funny thing when the solution in here is kind of like the example of Aikido. You know, your opponent comes at you, and instead of resisting, you sort of, you got to absorb the energy and flow with it. So when we're talking about resentment, okay, so you probably all have different examples. You know, your spouse, some challenge there, or someone cuts you off in traffic. There's a lot of different examples we can
Hey,
get out
Shane,
there.
I have one.
Yeah,
Mannatech changed the website and it messed up my business.
absolutely. Like, what's would they do that again? And it sounds like we're going to change the focus a little bit more again. Like, we all have this, like, wow, we got it nailed down. We're going to go for the and now we're adding in and that. Well, so we need to see what this chapter has to say about what to do with resistance. We have to figure out what can we do that just stops putting up the wall. Like, when that customer showed me his quote that I did, and he explained to me his situation, in the moment, I had the opportunity to resist him a whole bunch more than I did. I only said to him, you know, this is a great opportunity. I'm going to tell you, I'm changing my ways. I am changing my ways. And I didn't make it about him. Well, I tried not to. There was some. Anyways, here's a resistance list. He's asking us to really look into this here. What I resist, the way I resist, and the prices I'm paying for resistance. You know, this takes a little bit of work. You got to go into this and think through where the resistances are. We also have resentment. I think it's up here. This is a big chapter. Let's see here. Yeah, let's skip up to resentment. Oh no, I think I'm coming close to the end of the chapter, which is probably good. Resentment. Resentment, resistance, and revenge hurt you. This is hard. This is hard. What we're talking about is the different layers. And we go back to chapter 2 with the formula of champions. The intention, when we come into there's an intention that's going to be kind of like right in your face, and it's coming up from your unconscious. We were talking about that superpower from underneath here. There's going to be energy that's coming up in your face. It's going, I'm, you know, and something's saying down inside, here's what's hurting you. Here's what the fence is. Here's the wall right here. You have to really just allow it to go through you. Not, you know what that saying is? What we resist persists. It's true. I wrote down my very first time with a champions workshop. Tom Hopp, he was my coach for the moment in the small group, and he told me back then, he says, "You're deep in resistance." And I was like, no, I don't even know what that means. And I resisted that statement forever until like opening this book up here. It's an unconscious thing for me to resist. I think it's true for all of us. You know, there's another example where you're sitting and he puts your hands, you said, put your hands up like this. I want everybody to do that. Put your hands up like this. You're sitting on a chair and this coach comes along you and he starts pushing you with your hands, and you're sitting on that chair and you're pushing back because that's the natural first thing to do. You're pushing back, and pretty soon somebody's behind you to catch you. You're going to fall over in the back of your chair because the coach is pushing you. You're resisting the legs. Boom, you're over. But what he's saying is, here's here's what you're going to do with resistance. You're going to go like this instead. Do that. When next time this push comes on your life, just let your body relax and trust that there's something different's going to come up. You can put your hands down now, but that's the point. You just have to learn to relax with the coach and let it happen. Just go, well, what can I do to help learn from the situation? There's something here that I can put aside for the rest of my life. I can change the way I approach this resistance in my life. Resentment, resistance, and revenge. Because these things are costing us more than we want to admit. I mean, speaking for myself, for sure, that there's other prices that have paying that nobody knows about yet. Anyway, so another one for solution here is learn to be a giving maniac. And I love doing that. Who here loves giving? I just, go to it's just an opportunity to give. And it's great, even if it's whatever it is. It doesn't have to be money. It can be a help, an encouragement. I think that's one of our greatest gifts here as a collective, a group of us. We love to encourage others. And what a gift that is. So be a giving maniac. Open, honest, and responsible communication. I think that's a great way to also see where improvements can be made for me in my life. Open, honest, responsible communication. I'm using ChatGPT for that. So I have my prospects that have been working through with last 6 months here with the 4-a-day challenge with the other, and so I'm circling back to the top of my phone list, and I'm going back to each and every single person that I never responded to, that responded to me, or that never responded to me. And I'm using Chat GPT, and I'm speaking what was true in the situation for me. I'm going, hey, this was John, and he was like interested. He watched the video, and I never followed up with him. What should I say? And I click, yep, Chat GPT spits me out an answer. Hey, Shane, you know what? That's all perfectly okay. This one here, it sounds like you should reinitiate the conversation. And so I've been doing that for the last couple of weeks here, and I'm reinitiating the conversation, or I'm finishing up ways to follow through. And last week I got like 8 responses of people that said, you know what, Shane, thanks. This is not the right time for me. I mean, I had more responses in the last week by just being open and honest communication, by not overthinking things. I put the scenario into ChatGPT, press send, gives me back not only just maybe what to say, but also why would I say it this way for that person? And that's working great for me. So open, honest, responsible communications, honoring the people. Like ChatGPT is knowing that I'm prospecting people. It knows that I'm trying to build relationships. And so it's giving me the right answers to do that. And I see this really unfolding as a fast way to regain some traction. In fact, I got a whole list of people now like, hey, these are actually my friends. And we hadn't communicated for years. These are actually my friends. And this is cool. So anyways, a final solution here is fight fair. If you do have a conflict, it's about fighting fair. And everything, yeah, we all have different ways to recognize where our buttons get pushed. And so it's important for us to maybe let people know, or at least we know ourselves, okay, this pushes my button. We need to remember that, okay, just don't let that person wreck my day, kind of a thing, But yeah, try to speed through here. Here's a cool one. There's no fair rule in life, as it says here, to gauge something than by results. Often harsh, but always fair. So my intention these whole years, I think, was to not be a victim. Like Tom is saying, you're a victim. And I was consciously thinking, I'm not going to be a victim. And I hate being a victim. I really do. And yet, it's like what you resist, what I resisted, it persisted. And I created that in my life. Everywhere I look, it was like, oh, I just was just being a victim. And, I get to change that with awesome people like you. So thanks for just
Thank
giving me
you.
the opportunity to share Brian Clemmer's chapter 2 or chapter 3, 3 R's: resistance,
Awesome.
revenge.
Shane, that would great. And here's what I'm gonna have to say. Patrick Dean would be very proud of you right now.
Oh, thanks.
I know you worked a lot with him, and so I just wanted to share that with you. Which Mary Jo could have been here to hear this too. So,
Thank you.
but I do need 2 more volunteers for chapter 4 and chapter 5. If you don't have to book, you just have to let me know, and I'll send you that chapter. It's not a problem. So, do we have any volunteers? Shane and Joan, was it hard to do?
I'm sorry, yes, and clarify. So you said chapter.
Is it 4 and 5?
Well, so we would miss. Yeah, no, sorry, you're right. Chapter 4 is the next one. It's on. Yeah.
I would tell you what's on, but Mary Jo stole my book yesterday.
Chapter 4, responsibility.
Okay. And then what's chapter 5, Shane? Since you have the book right there.
Chapter 5 is to think is to create.
Ooh, that's a great one. So do we have any volunteers or for 4 and 5? The dead silent zone.
Well, I'll do chapter 4 again.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's a great learning. And what about chapter 5?
So what is chapter 5, Lydia?
To think is to create.
Okay. Can you send it to me? I don't have the book, and so that's why I messed up and shared something, because I just got it online. So they were talking, it was okay.
I can send that to you with
So when is intention in the book? It said in what the book that I read, it said they talked about intention in chapter 5. When did they talk about intention?
Hold on, let me grab the book.
That was chapter 2 for you, Joan. Intention. Formula of champions. Isn't it? No, sorry. I'm messing it up. Intention is chapter 5.
There's really not a chapter. Let me look at chapter 2 here for a second.
It's all about intention. It's all about intention, Joan.
Yeah, 2 was all about intention.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the chapters are, since now I captured my book back. 5 is to think is create. 6 is your vision. 7 is the power of balance. 8 is oneness versus separatedness. And 9 is an action attitude, first day, last day. So do I have a volunteer for chapter 5?
I'll do it if no one else will volunteer. I mean, honestly, I'm just encouraging. I'm really nervous. I'm not comfortable doing this. It's out of my comfort zone, but I learned a lot.
You do.
And so I would do it again. I'll do chapter 5 if no one else will, but I would recommend somebody else does it.
Yes. Trust me, I've never been one to, before this last probably 2 years, I've never been one to do trainings because it was out of my comfort zone. I was always the tech person behind the computer Well, I guess when I do it online, I'm still the tech person behind the computer. But you know what, Joan? I'm going to let you do that one next week because I have one more. We're almost done with our time, but I will send you the chapter.
Thank you.
Perfect. And we're about a couple minutes from. It's all 1 minute till 11 o'clock. The other thing that Al wanted me to talk about is this the brainstorm. Because they know how many coupons have been used or not used. Is there something that's holding you back from going out there and talking to people about, let's say, a lot of you guys have had the results with the 21 days. What's holding you back from talking to people? Chris, I knew you were going to unmute.
I have a question about those, and I did use one, and I'm wondering, can they be used on, do they have to be used when someone sets up an automatic ship? Can it just be used if someone wants to place a one-time order?
I think it can be used as a one-time order too. I don't think it was ever specified.
So anybody placing any order of at least $50 can use that coupon.
Has to be a brand new person.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it can be a customer or an associate.
Or associate. Correct.
Okay, that's awesome. They're gone. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. She has her intention correct. She says they're gone.
I do have one.
Go ahead, Shane.
I do have one question about those coupons. I thought they were supposed to be in an email, and if they weren't, I would just have to phone into customer service.
Correct.
For them? Okay.
And the email should have came on March 1st for you.
Okay.
Any other questions? And the other thing I thought about when Al was talking about the affordability, you hear like McDonald's coming out with a $5 meal because of the gas prices are skyrocketing. People don't have the funds that they once did. There's another company, I'm just going to tell you what they did. They came out with a $500 laptop. And this is Apple, who is normally not $500 cheap. And I've watched the reviews of this laptop, phenomenal. And I just also read this morning that Tim Cook said they had the most people, first-time Apple users, buy a laptop. And this is all within the last 2 weeks. So affordability is an important thing, and Mannatech is jumping into it, giving $50 off. You could get somebody an OS piece for like $100. So use our intention, set our intention this week that we're going to use our 2 coupons to bless 2 people. Any other questions? And don't forget, we have Tuesday night, Wednesday night, register for Manquest, do it at events.mannatech.com. Al called me yesterday. He was so excited. He's like the Manquest czar. They've put him over organizing it all in. He's so excited about what's happening. And you'll want to be in that room if you can. Any other questions, comments?
Was there a minimum purchase amount for the $50?
$100.
$100. Okay, thanks.
You can also think about it. Get somebody who wants to do the business. Have them buy the products. They get their sign up, the $49 sign up for free. They start a business for free. A lot of great opportunities there. Any other questions, comments? But Joan and Shane, you guys did awesome. I'm glad that you're going to redo do the next 2 chapters next week. Because I want Al and Mary Jo just to hear you guys. Because that was such a joy to me. Because we've known you for quite a few years in Mannatech. So you guys all have a great week. Enjoy the cold weather if you're up north. If you're down south, enjoy the flowers that are the blue bonnets are now out in Texas. So it's a beautiful time here. You guys all have a great day, and we'll see you Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday.